नमस्ते। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ. In the first two parts of Aruna Prashna, we saw the mantras about water and time, Apa and Kala. From now on, the 6 Rutus are described in detail. What happens in each season and how do people behave in different seasons, how is the climate and so on. So it begins with Vasanta Rutu. So in this part 3, we are going to hear about Vasanta Rutu, Grishma Rutu and Varsha Rutu. But interestingly, before getting there, it also connects it with the previous description of the Samvatsara having 7 parts, right? So it begins with that. Sakanjanagam saptathamahurekajam shadudyama rushayo devaja iti teshamishta nivihita nidhamashah Sthatre rejante vikrutani rupashaha. So among the ones that are together, right, Sakanjanam and Saptatam Ahurekajam. The 7th one is said to be the one or the important one. The other 6 give us the 6 Rutus. So there will be a more detailed description of how these Rutus result later on. But here they are talking about this, remember in the previous part they talked about having 7 Indriyas, Saptendriyani. So here it is saying the 7th one of the 6, of these 7 is the important one, and the other 6 result in the 6 Rutus. They are as though they are born from Rishis, Rushayo Devaja iti, and they are born from the bright one Devaja, and they are like Rishis, and Shadudyama, they are to be used or seen in practice. So these 6 have their favorite places, right? Dhamashaha, Ishtani Dhamashaha, and in those Sthatre, in those places, Vikrutani Rupashaha, they behave in their own different ways, giving us the experiences of the different Rutus or seasons. Now, before going on to Vasanta Rutu itself, there is an interesting conversation as though here, which talks about how to approach these mantras and how to get their meanings properly. Ko no Marya amithitaha sakha sakha yamabravit jahako asmadishate. So, Maryaha, hey men, one who is alone asked his friend. So, Amithitaha Sakayam Abravit. So, one friend asked another friend, Jahako Asmadishate. Whoever wants to separate from us, why isn't everyone together? Who wants to reject us and be separate from us? Yastityajasakividagam sakayam natasya vaachyapi bhago asti yadigam shrunotyalakagam shrunoti nahi praveda sukrutasya panthamiti. Yaha sakividam sakayam tityaja, the one who rejects or deserts a friendly companion, natasya vachi api bhagaha asti. He has no part in the vakyas, in the vach, in the speech. So what that means is, the friend that is being talked about is the Vedas, the Veda mantras themselves. So one who is actually a friend, but if someone rejects it as not my friend, then he has no part in that, in the sayings of the Veda mantras. And by chance, if he gets to hear those Veda Vakyas, Yadim Shrunoti Alakagam Shrunoti, he will only hear them as lies. Nahi Praveda Sukrutasya Pantham, he will never understand the path of the righteous ones, of the noble ones. So, this is a very important statement because it is saying that to understand the meanings of these Veda mantras, you have to approach them with faith as a friend. If you are, skeptical, if you come with a so-called rational mind, right? Even if you get to hear those vakyas, you will only hear everything as a lie. You will only get the wrong interpretation. So, to get the Sukrutasya Pantha, the right path or the right interpretation, you have to treat it as a friend and approach these mantras with faith. Now begins the description of the Rutus. Ruturutuna Nudyamanaha Vinanadabhidhavaha Shashtischtrigam Shaka Valgaha Shukla Krishnau Shashtiko. So one Rutu follows another Rutu. Ruturu Rutuna Nudyamanaha. So it follows another Rutu encouraged by the previous one, pushed along by the previous one, making its own distinctive noises. So whether it is the noises produced by weather phenomena like rain and thunder and so on, or what kind of sounds that animals and birds make, they change from season to season. And now, as in Jyotish Shastra, it technically defines what is one Rutu. So one Rutu has 60 units, Shashtihi, right? Trimsha Valgaha. So it is 60 units of 30 Muhurtas. So a Muhurta is nothing but 48 minutes or 2 Ghatikas. So 48 minutes, a day has 24 Ghatikas, hours of 60 minutes, which is the same as 60 Ghatikas of 24 minutes. So a day has 30 Muhurtas because 2 Ghatika is 1 Muhurta. So if a Rutu is 60 days or 2 months, 60 days where each day has 30 Muhurtas. And each of those has 2 parts, a Shukla part and a Krishna part. Right? So there is, those are the 60 parts of a Rutu or 60 days in a Rutu. Saragavastrairjaradakshah vasanto vasubhis saha samvatsarasya savituho praishakrut prathamasmrutah. So the first Rutu, prathamasmrutah, has been called the Vasantaha, Vasanta Rutu. It is clean as a, like water, like crystal clear water. And people exhibit red colored clothes in this Rutu, and it comes with Vasudevatas, hence it is called Vasanta. And it is really the maker of Samvatsara. So Samvatsara begins with Vasanta Rutu. So we have the Yugadi festival at the beginning of Chaitra Masa. Chaitra and Vaishakha, 2 masas make the Vasanta Rutu. So it's the maker of the Samvatsara, and it follows the flow of the Samvatsara from then onwards. So that's the description of Vasanta Rutu. How do people behave in this Rutu? It's usually the spring season. Things are very nice in the Vasanta Rutu. Amo nadayate tyanyan amoguscha parirakshataha eta vachah prayujyante yatraitadupadrushyate. So in Vasanta Rutu, you hear people making statements like, feed and entertain these guests, feed them and take care of them and so on. So people are generally happy and going about in their social activities. So when you hear such things, eta vacha prayujyante, yatra etad upadrushyate, you can infer or you can figure out that it is Vasanta Rutu, because that is how people behave in Vasanta Rutu. Etadeva vijaniyat pramanam kala paryaye visheshanantu vakshyamaha rutunam tannibodhata. So similarly for other Rutus, you have to figure out etat eva vijaniyat kala paryaye pramanam. So you have to see how people behave and what sounds are being heard and so on, and based on that you have to understand the different Rutus. Visheshanantu vakshyamaha. We will only outline the special characteristics of other Rutus. right? Rutunam tan nibodata. From that you understand them. So the common characteristics we will not repeat, only the special characteristics of the other Rutus we are going to outline in the following mantras. शुक्लवासा रुद्रगणः ग्रीष्मेण वर्तते सः निजहन् पृथिवीगं सर्वाम्. So in Grishma Rutu, right, it is as though there is Rudra Ganas have come out in their white clothes and they envelop everything and they start heating up, burning everything. Nijahan. Prithivim Sarvam, the entire earth heats up because that is the summer time or Grishma Rutu. Jyotisha pratikhyena saha Vishvarupani vasagumsi Adityanan nibodhata Samvatsarinam karma phalam. So Varsha Rutu next, after Vasanta and Grishma, it is Varsha Rutu, that is when it's the rainy season. That is the one that gives us the fruits of the entire Samvatsara, Samvatsarinam karma phalam. So the benefits, agricultural and other benefits, whatever we get, all comes from Varsha Rutu for the entire year. So it know that it comes with Adityas in multicolored clothes. So you can imagine when during the rainy season, because of clouds and rainbow and rain and thunder and so on, there can be grey clouds, white clouds, dark clouds and so on. So it is being described that Aditya is coming with multicolored Vishwarupani Vasamsi. So he is coming with multicolored clothing in Varsha Rutu. Varshabhirdadatam saha aduhko dukkachakshuriva tadmapita iva drushyate shitena vyathayandiva. So there is no sadness in this, but it looks like people have swollen eyes. Adukkaha dukkachakshuriva, right? Tadma pita iva, like jaundiced eyes. They are not troubled by cold weather. Shitena avyathayan, but still they may have some eye problems because of the rain and wind and so on in Varsha Rutu. Rurudaksha iva drushyate hladayate jwalataschaiva shamyataschasya chakshushi. So this is the season that gives us ample grass including all our crops like rice and so on. So because of the rainy season we get a lot of that. Hladayate, it makes us very happy. Jwalataschaiva, so our eyes are shining. Shamyatascha, it gives us a lot of peace and prosperity. That is Varsha Rutu. Now there is, before moving on from Varsha Rutu, there is a statement about what people should be doing in Varsha Rutu. Yavai praja bhragashyante samvatsarata bhragashyante ya pratitishtanti samvatsareta pratitishtanti varshabhya ityarthaha. Varshabhya ityarthaha. This is the summary or the important gist of what Varsha Rutu is all about. Yaha prajaha, those people who bhragashyante, they are lazy, they don't make an effort in Varsha Rutu. Samvatsarat taha bhragashyante, they suffer or they lose the entire Samvatsara. Yah pratitishtanti, those who put in the effort and work hard, they will prosper. Samvatsareta pratitishtanti, they will prosper throughout the Samvatsara. So how beautifully it has explained the idea of sowing crops and doing agriculture, collecting food, whatever, for the rest of the year in Varsha Rutu. So whenever this Aruna Prashna was composed, it is quite clear that agriculture was well known and prevalent at that time itself.